Welcome, friends, to the Soul Talk podcast, a show where we explore and uncover the path to the heart, amplifying your conscience. Join me as we meet incredible souls who are in this journey and learn from their experience and different methods that will make you vibrate your heart. Let's get into it. Hi, everyone. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. And today I wanted to talk something that it came to my attention because we tend to do this so many times, and I am guilty of that, doing the same thing. And you ask what it is. Well, the word it is deflecting. So basically, when we are feeling guilty and shame and blame for something that we did, we tend, and we don't want to carry that, and we're not being a responsible human beings, we're going to deflect it. We're going to guilt someone else for doing the same that mistake because it is easier to pass on that responsibility to someone else that we carry on ourselves. That is going to create so much inner problems, and you're going to deflect them and send it to someone else. This is a custom that the world's been doing forever. If there's economical problems and things like that, we're going to guilt the government. I'm not saying that we're the ones managing the worldwide or our country economy and things like that. We're not. But it is easier always to guilt someone else than to be responsible human beings. So, and the person that it is deflecting, they're going to be looking for allies. So, like that, they have validation on their own emotions. And everybody is going to can become people pleaser and say, no, you're right. And they're going to be in our side. But because they're not completely sure, because we are carrying that guilt and that shame, that person might move on and go with someone else and be a light of someone else later on. But in the moment, it felt good. It felt good to deflect that and says, I am not guilty. I am not carrying that shame or that guilt or whatever emotion it is. But it's going to present itself over and over and over and over again until we learn the lesson not to deflect and learn that we are responsible for our own actions, our own thoughts, our own emotions. When we're trying to avoid them, they're not going to go away. They're going to stay there until we actually work with them. No one can make you feel bad or good unless you permit that. I know that you already know this, but this is important to remind you about this because we tend to make people feel guilty or shame because we don't want to do the inner work, that deep dive. That is part of doing the shadow work. So try to do that inner work to know when you are guilting someone for something that you did, because that is also part of being judged, judging someone for your own mistakes. And when you're trying to convince them, that is called gaslighting. You're crazy, you're wrong, so forth. I'm not denying that the other person that might be wrong or that might be guilty, but they have in every single story of interaction with someone else, there's always two parts. One that accepts the guilty conscience or the one that don't accept the guilty conscience. But how the world will be so different if everybody is responsible for their own thoughts and their own emotions and their own actions. So you want to create a different world, we need to start becoming responsible for what you did or what emotions you have accepted. And I am guilty about this too, because I tend to also deflect. It is easier. I don't have to carry the guilt. Yes, until it's gonna come boiling like boiling water and it's gonna come on me because I deflected. And when we're mad at someone, I already said this, but this is important because when we're mad at someone, we're looking for allies. And when we're looking for allies, we're creating that division more and more because that validation is so important to us. But instead of looking validation that we're right or we're wrong, we just have to ask ourselves, what I did, it was right. My emotions are right, or I feeling envy and competition, or what is behind this emotion, why I'm deflecting of the own emotion and what I am responsible with. So I invite you to do that deep dive and know what are you responsible of any situation that you got into it. And this is not only advice for you, it's also an advice for myself. But what I was doing in my inner process of going into that deep dive, I thought, you know what? Let me share this with you all because we all need that work to do that inner work. I do want to create a better world. I do want to be a better human being every day. So, and I invite you to do the same. I invite you to do that inner work and know what are you responsible of. And what other people feel or not feel, that's their inner work to do, or not. But at least you're not responsible of that. You're only responsible of you. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. And remember, I have my program, A Path to the Heart. That is a membership. It's a go year round, 1 year round. And we're going to be working precisely with reflections and guilty conscience and guilt and shame and blame and so forth. Because even if we already are working with people and teaching and so forth, we have all blind spots that we have not worked with ourselves. And that inner child is going to be showing up and showing up and showing up until we become aware of that inner child, what the needs that we have. And that inner child sometimes is still crying for things that happened when we were little. So you want to clear that thing out and become empowered and feel free. That's my level one. Metamorphosis, transformation in metamorphosis. That's the level one. And the level two, we go more metaphysical. That's where it gets more juicy. That we talk about the laws of the universe, of the metaphysic, and how it works. So like that, we know what game we're playing, and bringing the fragments of soul. Because every time we get a car accident, divorce, grief, anger, etc., our soul gets fragmented. And we want to bring those pieces of our own energy, our own soul back to ourselves. You want to release also the sexual energy from past lovers. It is going to be in the second level. And you're going to learn how to do this by yourself, for yourself, and for your own clients. The third level gets more interesting. It is different kinds of channeling, like trance channeling, automatic writing, how to communicate through telepathy with them. That right now the world is going more and more and more telepathic. We can feel the emotions of anyone in the part of the world or in the galaxy. And also, I do teach Akashic records, galactic Akashic records too, because we're going to have a little bit of the history of the galaxy. So, like that, you know where you're coming, your star from. But how about if you learn how to do it yourself? You are going to be working in theta level. So, like that, you can heal your subconscious programming and you can help your clients too to do the same thing. So, if you're interested, just let me know. My name is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. And we have the programs in English and in Spanish, the membership. So let me know. You can get a certification from Path to the Heart, the system that I created. My name is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. And thank you for listening.